shocking ways sugar impacts the brain and causes harm. Adults in the U.S. consume an average of 17 teaspoons of added sugar every day. That's more than 2 to 3 times the recommended limit, according to the American Heart Association. But here's the thing, even just a little excess sugar can damage your brain in ways most people never anticipated. For instance, it can impact your memory, your mood swings, and even lead to early dementia. And please understand, it's not just about eating candy. In this video, I'll break down 8 shocking ways that sugar rewires your brain, and that's backed by science. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to cut out, how to fix it, how to regain control of your mental clarity fast. Hi, I'm Dr. Laara Van Bryce, a chiropractor and functional medicine practitioner, and I combine the best of traditional and alternative medicine using a thorough approach to understand your health needs. My mission is to help you live your best life by supporting your journey to optimal health and wellness. And before I dive in, go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you want practical tips and strategies that can help you live a happier, healthier life. I upload a new video every week. When you consume sugar, your brain gets a surge of dopamine, which is one of the feel-good neurotransmitters, basically triggering the same reward pathways as those activated by drugs like cocaine. And over time, this repeated stimulation can rewire your brain, reducing sensitivity to pleasure and increasing your cravings. Additionally, sugar also fuels inflammation, disrupts communication between brain cells, and can shrink critical areas involved in your memory and your emotions. So what seems like a harmless sweet tooth overdone is actually reshaping your brain chemistry. So let's start with the first major impact, impaired cognitive function. High sugar intake has been directly linked to reduced neuroplasticity. That's your brain's ability to adapt, learn, and form new memories. Think of it like this. Your brain becomes less flexible, slower to process information, and more prone to forgetfulness. Studies show that diets high in sugar can actually reduce the production of a key brain chemical called BDNF, which is critical for learning and memory, and it doesn't take years to feel the effects. Even short-term spikes in your sugar can lead to brain fog, trouble focusing, and mental fatigue. It's why you might feel sluggish or unfocused after a sugar-heavy meal. And over time, this can spiral into long-term cognitive decline, and most people have no idea that sugar is the reason behind it. Next up is addictive behavior, and this one's sneaky. Sugar doesn't just taste good, it hijacks your brain's reward system. So every time you eat it, your brain releases a hit of dopamine, creating a pleasure spike. The problem? Well, your brain starts to crave that spike again and again, and over time it takes more sugar to feel the same reward, just like an addictive substance. And here's the kicker. Brain scans show that sugar lights up the same areas in your brain as do hard drugs, and that's why cutting sugar feels like withdrawal, headaches, mood swings, irritability. It's not just about your willpower, it's about your biology. So if you've ever wondered why it's so hard to stop at just one cookie, know that it's your brain being rewired to chase that high. Now let's talk about mood and why sugar can seriously mess with it. When you eat sugar, your blood glucose spikes fast, but what goes up must come down. That sudden crash in blood sugar triggers a stress response in the brain, leading to irritability, anxiety, and even aggression. You feel great for a minute, but then boom, you're tired, moody, maybe even snapping at people for no reason. This roller coaster doesn't just affect your energy, it disrupts serotonin and other neurotransmitters that regulate your mood. The result? Emotional instability that feels random but is actually chemically induced. So if you've ever felt unusually cranky or anxious after a sweet snack, that's not just in your head. That's your brain under sugar stress. Sugar Sugar doesn't just impact your mood, it can literally weaken your memory. Studies show that high sugar diets reduce the brain's ability to store and recall information. Why? Because excess sugar triggers inflammation in the hippocampus, the part of your brain responsible for memory and learning. Over time, this inflammation acts like static, like on a radio station, interrupting how your brain forms and retrieves memories. So those moments of forgetfulness or that foggy feeling might not just be aging. It could be your sugar intake catching up with your brain. So how come long-term sugar consumption has been linked to dementia? High blood sugar levels damage your blood vessels in your brain, reducing oxygen flow and increasing the risk of vascular dementia. It's the same mechanism that causes diabetic complications, but now it's in your brain. It's now known as type 3 diabetes because even if you're not diabetic, chronically elevated glucose from a high sugar diet can accelerate cognitive decline. So that extra dessert might feel harmless now in the moment, but it could be laying the groundwork for serious cognitive decline later. And the damage doesn't just stop with your memory or your mood. Sugar is a major driver of inflammation in your brain. When you eat a lot of it, your body produces more free radicals, which are unstable molecules that damage your brain cells and trigger oxidative stress. Think of it like internal rust. Sugar speeds up that breakdown. This stress disrupts normal brain function and has been linked to neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, and it can directly contribute to depression, anxiety, and altering your brain chemistry. And while adults face serious risks, sugar's impact on children can even be more immediate and often overlooked. High sugar intake in children has been linked to hyperactivity, attention issues, and behavioral challenges. It spikes their energy and temporarily then crashes hard, leaving them irritable, unfocused, and restless. Some studies even show connections between sugar and symptoms resembling ADHD. And while sugar isn't the only factor in behavior, it plays a bigger role than most parents realize, especially when it's hidden in snacks, cereals, and juices that are labeled as healthy. And even if that wasn't enough, sugar also rewires one of your brain's most essential survival tools, your sense of hunger. Sugar messes with your brain's ability to know when you're full. It interferes with leptin and ghrelin, the hormones that regulate hunger and satiety. That means even after eating enough, your brain still signals hunger, leading to overeating, weight gain, and eventually metabolic issues that affect your brain health. It becomes a vicious cycle. More sugar leads to more cravings, more food, and more damage, and it rewires your appetite center so that your brain literally forgets how to feel satisfied. Does this sound familiar? So now that you know how sugar rewires your brain, the big question is, what can you do about it? Here are 3 fast, practical steps that you can take to start reversing the damage and reclaim your mental clarity. Cut out all hidden sugars first. Start by reading the labels on the food that you eat every day, especially sauces, dressings, yogurts, and healthy snacks. If sugar or high fructose corn syrup is in the first 3 ingredients, well, swap it out. Next, stabilize your blood sugar with protein and fiber. Every meal should include a source of protein and fiber to slow down sugar absorption and prevent glucose spikes and crashes. Think eggs and veggies or a handful of nuts with fruit instead of a sugary bar. Additionally, vigorous exercise immediately following sugar consumption can help stabilize your blood glucose. Let your muscles absorb and consume the sugar for energy. Next, hydrate before you give in to your cravings. Many sugar cravings are actually dehydration in disguise. Drink a full glass of water when a craving hits and then wait 15 minutes. You'll be surprised how often that urge fades. If this video opened your eyes to how sugar affects your brain, drop a comment below and let me know how you're feeling, what changes you're going to make first, and even how much sugar you realized you're actually eating without knowing it. And hit like if you learned something new. Share this with someone who would benefit from this information, and don't forget, like and subscribe if you want practical tips and strategies that can help you live a happier, healthier life. And if you're wondering how to track your blood sugar in real time, even if you're not diabetic, you need to watch this video. Does a non-diabetic benefit from a continuous glucose monitor? So now go watch it.